offense is sick of defense, defense is sick of offense. That's a natural progression. We've logged a lot of reps, we've got a lot done, and now we can have a little bit of fun with it. If you mix the teams, it builds team camaraderie, which is important. We're studying overtime play, and so we're really working overtimes tonight. Makes it very competitive and it makes it fun. So, hopefully the fans like it. Hopefully our players like it too.
Dana, I know every coach gets this question, but did you feel like you accomplished what you wanted in the spring?
Yeah, I think so. It gets to a point where you want to get through it healthy. Let's hope we do tonight. We've got quite a bit of people over there in yellow. Nothing long term to report, but obviously other than Alton, who has surgery on Monday, Garfield Lawrence had surgery on Friday. He was another guy that had an ACL. So those were the two major ones. The rest of them were minor that will be back in June. Hopefully we finish spring ball the way that we want to, get some work done here. Our spring's not over. We got 3 weeks of countable activities, strength and conditioning, athletic training, a whole lot of academics, exit meetings, and then before finals and before they have the playoff.
What is the prognosis on Holgorsen right
now? It's an ACL.
It sounded like you don't think you think that he may play.
Yeah, I think everybody responds to those things differently. There's been stories of guys coming back in 4.5 months. There's been, different, and they really don't know until they go in and see it. And then how do guys attack rehab, and how does their bodies respond to it? I don't know, and I'm not going to sit here and try to study it and act like I know either, because it's a medical question that I don't have the expertise to be able to answer.
So from a personnel standpoint, what you can say is you're going to have to move forward right now as if you don't have them for this
without a question, he's not going to be ready in the beginning part of the season. That's absurd. But can he get back to the point where he can play in a couple of games? That's not my decision either. That's medical decisions, and when guys, if that happens, great. If not, then we'll be ready to get them going in spring of next year.
Dana, Clayton and Varys both kind of talked for maybe with a bit of an edge. Clayton said the other day, feels like this team has a target on its back now. What do you think about that?
We'll see when we figure out what we picked and all that stuff. We've got a lot of guys coming back, coming off of a 12-win season, top 20 season. We went 8-0 in the league before having to go to Cincinnati. I would imagine the teams that are on our schedule are going to want to beat us. We understand that. Good. I kind of like when these guys have edge to them. It means they work hard and they care, and I think our team works hard and they care. Hopefully we get a good competitive practice here today and get some other guys that want to step up and lead and play and have that chip on their shoulder. That's the third ward Cougs all about. We talk to them about it all the time. Case was here the other day, and he talks about the chip on your shoulder and the third ward Cougs. Just because we're starting to get a little better facilities doesn't mean that we can't play without that chip. So I like guys that play with the chip, and I like guys that have an edge to them.
Along those lines, Javarius, we're talking about this team wants everyone on the same page. And if you're not on the same page, they really don't want you here. What do you think about that?
Well, that's what leaders do. They bring people with them. So I've been very happy with both Gio and Tim from the leadership perspective. They're stepping up and they're doing things vocally. Neither one of those two guys felt comfortable doing that a year ago. Through maturity and growth, those guys feel like they're able to do that. They're two of our better players that work hard, and the University of Houston is important to them, and they're excited about being here, and we got a mindset that we know what we got to do to be able to complete what our goal is.
Dana, what specifically has Clayton improved on during this school?
A lot. Just specifically this spring, just accuracy is probably the number one thing. He's spending a lot of time with Jordan Palmer, who's a pretty good quarterback coach. He knows how to train quarterbacks and hips better than I do. It's one thing that when he's bringing things up, makes a lot of sense that you kind of overlook in college because you don't have the amount of time that you want. The amount of time that you have to work with these guys is pretty much film study and what to do with the ball. And so you kind of forget about some of the little things when it comes to technique. And Jordan's been really good. And Logan's been working with Jordan a lot too, to the points where he's kind of that middleman that's working with him every day.
Is that out in California? Is that in California when they work with Jordan?
Yeah. So Jordan's in Dana Point down there. And, he's been here, and so he's pretty good at doing some custom things. So that's improved too. His mobility's been good. His flexibility, his hips. It all translates into accuracy of the football. So I've been very happy with his development.
What do you think about having Ed out here?
Yeah, he's great. He's been here quite a bit. Pepe's been here. Speedy's been here. We've had a lot of guys come through. Tavon Austin rolled through here a little bit ago and talked to the receivers. He's in town for a birthday party, and just having all those guys come through here is one advantage about being in Houston, because everybody wants to be in Houston. So a lot of those guys that come through here usually stop and get to know our guys, and that's pretty cool.
The other day when we talked to Doug Belk, he kind of giving us a little bit of overview on stuff, and he mentioned that Jack Freeman had a really good spring.
Yes.
That position, is that something that you needed to see, and does that influence you maybe how you use some of those other spots,
Yes. We don't feel like we need a center end. Okay, so that was a question mark going into the spring. The best thing that happened to Jack Freeman was Cody Russell, because Cody taught Jack how to be a leader, how to be professional, and this is a totally different Jack Freeman that has ever been here. He's put 14 practices together that's been outstanding. Demetrius Hunter is learning from Jack. Demetrius has had 14 really good practices too. So that's two guys that we didn't know what we had prior to spring. So I've been very happy with both their performances.
Coach, a lot of recruits and families on hand last time for that on campus practice. How important is it to carry the momentum into evaluation time?
Yeah, it's been good. This is probably our biggest turnout. I think there's over 100 guys here watching. We've had multiple guys that have multiple offers, come multiple times, which is awesome. There's a lot of multiples right there. But no, it's good. We'll go into the evaluation period here in about 2 weeks or a week and a half or something like that. But we're ahead because we know a lot of these guys, because we've had a whole lot of visitors here in the spring. So excited about where we're at recruiting-wise.
To tie it back into what you said earlier, how valuable is it to have those NFLers and former Cougars come through when you have recruits on campus?
Well, just they can't talk to them,
right.
But by seeing them, that means that there's positive things going on with the program. If former players want to come back and be a part of what we're doing, Greg Ward's here all the time. It's Ty Bowser's here all the time. That list is a lot larger than what I just said. But by having those guys here, being a part of the program, it shows that they care about the program, and it shows that the program's headed in the right direction. That's what recruits want to see. They want to see excitement, and they want to see name recognition with who comes and who's around the program.
Clayton Tune said he saw or heard from Tayshawn Henry after Alton's deal, and he heard what he wanted to hear about, Tayshawn being a veteran, wanting to take that role. I think Tayshawn said he wanted a mandatory step up. Yeah. Is that something for a guy like that?
He's had a good spring. He had a good spring, and now he knows that he's got to step up and do more. That's why we keep recruiting running backs. That's a hard position, and we need to add more, in that room, whether we do right now or not, based on what's available in the portal and all that stuff. But Tayzon's ready to take that next step. He's played a lot of ball. He's got a lot of snaps under his belt. He's been very productive. So there's no reason to think that he can't have the best season that he's had so far.
One or two more?
How much more can you do now that you're established as a winning program? And can you
a lot.
See the difference in how people watch the game from the outside?
Yeah, we can do a lot. We got to continue to raise money to build this building that needs to go right here. We're going to go into the Big 12 as a Power 5 school, as one of the only schools that don't have a Power 5 facility. That's just facts. Okay, so we got to do a lot. We got to raise money, and how you raise money is you build excitement, You work hard, you build excitement, you win games, and you get people to step up and support. Pez said this the other day, and there's a lot of stuff out there. Just because we're going into the Big 12 doesn't mean that we've arrived. We won 12 games. That's the third time that's happened in this decade. That's great. That creates excitement, but we got to double down and do more. So there's a whole bunch that we can do.